Girl Scouts! I'm Andrea Peterson. I'm the program specialist with Girl Scouts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Lakes and Pines. Today we're going to be going over the Senior Outdoor Art Expert Badge. So we'll start about 3:02 when more people kind of start logging on. So when you log on, right where you're tuning in from, and then maybe something you did that was fun over the weekend, or if you have anything exciting coming up, I'd love to see what you're going to be doing this weekend or what you did. All right, I see we have one person tuned in. Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm the program specialist with Girl Scouts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Lakes and Pines. So if you want to write where you're tuning in from, and then maybe something fun you did over the weekend, or if you have anything fun planned for this coming weekend, or anything fun this week, let me know. Make comments. We'll get started in about 1 more minute. We're going to be going over the Senior Outdoor Art Expert Badge today. We'll give them another about 3:02. We'll get started. Waiting for a few more people to kind of log on and kind of get settled to go. We're up to 10 people. That's awesome. Write where you're tuning in from. Put in the comments, and then tell me if you have anything fun planned for this weekend, or if you did any fun things last weekend. All right, so it's 3:02, so we'll get started. So again, I'm Andrea Peterson. I'm the program specialist with Girl Scouts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Lakes and Pines. Today, we're going to go over the Senior Outdoor Art Expert Badge, and that has 5 steps in it. I will be going over 2 activities from 2 of the different steps, and then if you do want the full list of requirements, you can either log on to the Volunteer Toolkit or the VTK and download the full requirements there. Otherwise, they are available on the Girl Scout website, so you can buy them from the shop if you would like to do that as well. So before we get started and before you kind of take off into this awesome journey, you want to make sure that when you go outside, there's a lot of going outside in this this badge. So you want to make sure you don't go alone. Going alone is really not a safe idea to do, especially even if you know the area. You just never know who is around. And also, I know you want to make sure you're social distancing. So taking a hike or a walk with someone who you live with is a great idea to get outside, but also have someone to talk to on the way. Making sure you dress for the part. It's been very nice here in Minnesota the last few days, but making sure you still bring a sweatshirt with, or a jacket, depending on what you're doing, so that you are dressed in case the weather does change, because Minnesota weather can change really easy and fast. The next is pack for safety, so making sure you have maybe some water, some food with, and a first aid kit is always really good to have with you. And the next thing that kind of goes with the packing for safety is stay connected. So you want to make sure you either, you tell someone where you guys are going before you leave, and then when you think you're going to come back, and then also have a phone out there in case something does happen. You can kind of call and let people know that something happened. So like I said, I will be going over 2 activities with you. I will be doing them in person during this video, and you can either follow along. I'll be making some sort of a necklace, and then I will be making an animal mural. So I'll be explaining those steps as I go about this as well. So the first activity I'm going to be doing is from step 2 of the Outdoor Art Expert Badge. It's make something. So you can design a piece of jewelry inspired by nature. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head outside and find something in nature that really moves you. So it could be a lake, it could be an ocean, depending on where you are, wildlife, or maybe some flowers that you really, really find beautiful. And then you want to reproduce that in some sort of jewelry. So when you do that is you can, maybe if you're doing an ocean, you want to take the color like blue beads and make them into a bracelet or a necklace, whatever you want to do. I had clay that I'm going to be making some clay charms, you could say, to put around a necklace. So that's my first activity that we're going to be doing. It does not need to be a beaded necklace. It could be some sort of bracelet. If you want to take some floss like we do at camp, you make some bracelets. It could be you take blue and make some sort of blue bracelet with different colors of blue to represent like the ocean or a lake if you're looking at that as well. So what I decided what I'm going to be making today is I'm going to be making, this is my flower. A great tip is if you do want to make circles in your art projects is to use a straw. So if you have some art stuff with you, you could start doing your art project now. I also made some beads too. So if you want to use clay, I made some little beads that I was thinking of is apple picking. In the fall time, I really like to go apple picking. So I was thinking when I made those beads that I could put on a bracelet and do some apple picking. So the first thing I'm going to do is make the middle part on the flower. So that's this circle brown part that I have with there. And I'm going to make this one out of yellow because that's what I have with me available. So I'm going to make just a little circle. It doesn't have to be super big, whatever you want to use. And if you are going to use clay, you can get a few different types of clay. The stuff I have is I can bake it in the oven so then it stays harder and it'll last longer. You can get ones that dry just naturally by air, which those ones are nice too, so you don't have to bake them at all either. So it's really up to whatever you want. So you'll just have to kind of make it into whatever you want. So I will make little pieces like this to put it all the way around the flower. So in turn, it'll look like that. Then you can grab string. So I just grabbed some random color string that I had. And you can string it up however you like to make your necklace. So if I want to just make it like this, I can just put it on my necklace and then tie it around and I have a nice flower necklace. Another thing you can use is you could use fabric and cut out a little flower out of there and then make it into a bracelet that you wear around your wrist. Again, I said beads you could use. You can really use whatever you have laying around your house that really inspires you to connect with nature. So my activity 2 that I decided to do was from step 5, and it's design outdoors. So in this step, you're going to design a nature-based art mural for the outdoors. So murals are human-made images on walls or other flat surfaces so take a walk outside and look at nature and think about what inspires you. What do you like about nature? And find whatever thing you like about nature and you want to sketch it. So the first thing I did was I sketched it. I did a lion. And so the first thing is I sketched it on a white piece of paper. Now, to kind of get it to see how it would look in nature, you want to grab materials that look like nature. So it kind of recommends that you use plywood. I don't really have wood at home laying around, but I have cardboard. And it's brown just like plywood is. And it represents plywood for me because that's what I have available to me. So if you don't have wood, just use some cardboard or brown paper if you have brown paper, but I didn't have that. So then you're going to take what you drew on your white piece of paper as like your example to kind of practice drawing it, and then draw it on your piece of cardboard. So I'm going to kind of do a quick little sketch on it to kind of show you what it's going to look like. If you don't want to use, I like pencils so I can erase. You can use, I have color pencils here, and I have crayons, or you can use markers, whatever's easiest. Some people like paint, so if you want to use paint, you're more than welcome to use paint. So if I'm going to just kind of draw this really quickly. Oops. I'll just draw the head part for you right now. Alright, so almost done. And the thing is, after you draw it, you are going to want to add color, because when you look outside on murals on walls, they always have a ton of color because they want to pop in the light. So, oh, you can't really see it, but you can see that it looks a little different, especially on this color. So you want to make sure you use darker colors than a pencil probably if you're going to show it over, take a picture of it. But so it's going to make it look a lot different, and it's going to make the pencil reflect a little bit different than it would on here. It's a little bit more shinier on this versus the white. So those are the two examples that I wanted to show you today. So if you are excited about doing an outdoor art expert badge as a senior, then definitely go on and download the rest of the requirements that we have for you. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. And again, make sure you please fill out the survey that's attached in the event. So thank you for tuning in. Bye.